1-0 on the season after an opening
Yep.
88-79 win over Bowling Green. Contractually obligated to make this trip back to Richmond, Virginia, and take on VCU, where Coach Wade spent 2 seasons.
The Rams.
In those 2 years, though, Coach Wade, with a nearly a 72% winning percentage at 51-20 and back-to-back NCAA appearances. Surely they'll be nice to you tonight, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how it's going to go.
What do you think about the environment you're walking into this evening?
Oh, it'll be as hostile of an environment as we've ever played in. I told our guys it'll be like the Houston game last year times about 5.
Wow.
For the guys who are here. So I mean, they have great fans at VCU. I mean, unbelievable fans. Every game's a sellout. They've sold out over 150 straight games. And the way the arena's configured, they're right on top of you. And they're tremendous fans. And then add in the fact that they weren't real pleased that I left after a couple of years. It's going to be a really hostile environment. But it'll be a good test for our guys. We're going to see how we respond when we meet some adversity, when we meet some tough challenges. We'll be able to see how things shake out. But it'll be a fun night. It's a great opportunity for our teams, great opportunity for our program to play well on national TV and see where we stand against a really good team. They're a top 25 ball club. They just dropped out. I think they're 26th right now, but they should be a top 25 ball club, and to see how we stack up against a very talented and very well coached team.
Tips at 5 o'clock Central Time here, 4:30 pregame on Eagle 98.1, and as Coach said, on national television on ESPN2. You're continuously coaching your team up for mental preparation and looking for the mental edge. How do you get them prepared for an environment like tonight, and what are you looking for them in the mental aspect of your team in Game 2?
Well, I mean, VCU puts pressure on you absolutely everywhere on the court, just taking the ball out of bounds. They press you after every make. They turn you over on 22% of their baseline out of 22% of your baseline out of bounds situation. So you got to shift your focus from trying to score on baseline out of bounds, which is what we do, to 1 out of every 4 times they turn you over. So it's just a matter of, let's just get the ball in bounds tonight and not mess that up. So you've got to change what you do, because they're going to put so much mental stress on you for 40 minutes. And I've told our guys, it's just one play at a time. Be in the current play. If you have a great play, if you have a terrible play the play before, you have to be focused on the current play. And so just stay in the current play. We're going to make mistakes. We're not going to play perfect. They're going to go on runs. And when they do that, we just got to double down on what we do. We got to narrow our focus to what we do and win that possession and do what we do at the highest level we can possibly do it for that possession. And so, we just got to take it in small chunks and respond the right way when things get tough. And I think our guys will be ready for the challenge.
And so right there, you mentioned VCU on those inbounds forcing turnovers at the rate that they do. And you opened Monday's press conference talking about turnovers, saying that your team is turning it over a bit too much right now. When you look at the film from Game 1, from the exhibition game, what do you think the main source or the main cause of those turnovers are?
Well, we have a couple different, the ones we've got to cut down on. I told them tonight, I said, if you're unsure, just throw the ball out of bounds so we can go set our defense. The ones we have to cut down on are the live ball turnovers, where we turn it over and then they convert it. It's basically a pick six in football.
Yeah.
We're having 4 or 5 of those a game, and we've got to cut back on those. I'm fine. We may get a few 10-second counts tonight against their press. I'm fine with that. We can at least get back and set our defense if we get a 10-second count. If we try to throw a crazy pass to beat the 10-second count and they pick it off, they're going to go dunk it. So, if we get a 10-second count or 2 tonight, I'm fine with that. If we're stuck in a trap and we get a jump ball, I'm fine with that. What we can't do is just throw the ball away and give them needless baskets. Told our guys, if you catch yourself in the air and you don't know what to do, throw it towards the basket. Act like you're shooting it. At least then we can maybe get an offensive rebound or get back and set our defense. But Coach Rhodes does a tremendous job. They've got a great. It's very tough to play the way they play. We played that way when we were here as assistants, and I just haven't had the guts really to play that way as a head coach. But he's done a phenomenal job of mixing the pressure and still keeping an unbelievable half-court defense. They were 7th in the country in defensive efficiency last year, and so it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be a grind. It's not going to be one of those games where we scored 90. I mean, this thing could be first one to 62, first one to 65 wins.
Yeah.
And so, it's going to be a grind every possession. And what he's done to be able to combine the pressing and creating turnovers while also keeping his half-court defense really, really solid and not giving up all the layups is extremely, extremely impressive. I wish I could figure out how to do it like he has, but he's done a tremendous job with it.
So there's a good Bowling Green team that you'll start with. The VCU, as you said, obviously a very good team as well. I mean, right next to each other in the rankings. And it's really early in the year, right? And this is more of a –
Don't forget, Nichols beat Pittsburgh the other day.
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Shout out to the Colonels. That's right, baby.
I know everybody was busy on Saturday. But everybody was busy on Saturday. The Colonels were up at Pitt, beating Pitt up at Pitt.
Took the check and the W.
I forgive you that your attention was elsewhere.
Coach Wade was watching the Pitt Nichols game like, wow, look at this Colonel team.
That was on early in the day. Watch that. You can watch that before you watched us whip Alabama.
And so another thing that I missed was a Pelicans win. And one thing the Pelicans are struggling with early on in this season is figuring out their rotations, right? And having a new team like you do year to year, what are these early season games like when it comes to rotations? Like, how much of the rotation do you feel like you have nailed down right now? Personnel-wise, I mean.
Well, we've been a little bit off just because Marlon's kind of been in and out of the lineup. He was in on one of our scrimmages. He's been out. He's obviously going to be out tonight. We've gone to more of an NBA-style rotation for tonight. We've pre-planned our rotations tonight as a staff. We did it Monday in a staff meeting, and so we're going to try that tonight just because we're going to have to be really, really fresh. We're going to have to stay really fresh, especially in that 6-minute game because what they're looking for is the cumulative effect of their press just to wear you down. And so we've got to do a good job of keeping fresh bodies. I can't keep, I love to keep Javonte and Skylar out there 36 minutes each, but tonight's not one of those nights where I can do that. If I do that, I'm setting them up to be, I'm setting them up to not be as successful down the stretch. So we're gonna, count on James Bishop. He's somebody that maybe we haven't played as much in these first couple games, but I think somebody that's ready to contribute and ready to help us. I think this is a game he can play really, really well in. So we're gonna roll him out there quite a bit more. You'll still see obviously Andre Hyatt some, and we're gonna play Marshall Graves. He's somebody I trust in this type of environment. We're gonna play him quite a bit more than he's been playing, and he's somebody I trust. He's a senior. He's been in these type of environments. He's not going to get rattled mentally, and you just know what you're going to get with him. He's going to do his job, and so we're going to roll him out there. We're going to roll him out there a little bit more tonight as well.
You mentioned Nichols getting the win over Pitt on Saturday. I mean, the number one team in the country in your conference, Kentucky, goes down last night at home to Evansville. Is that good teaching moments for you and your team?
I used to rant and rave about all that stuff, but as I've gone through it, I don't like planting seeds about losing to our guys. I used to get up there and show. I used to get up there and show when we get ready to play somebody, I'd get up there and show everybody they've lost. I remember we prepared for Belmont one year. I had posters made of all the BCS teams that Belmont had beat. All the BCS at the time. All the Power 5 teams Belmont had beat in the last 5 years. Just trying to scare the hell out of our guys that Belmont was going to come in and beat us. And as I've gotten a little bit older, I think, why would I want to plant the seed that we could even lose to them? Let's just worry about ourselves, stick to what we do, and do what we do. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. All our guys had the game on their phones. We were over at the arena just shooting, getting used to the rims and stuff last night. And I saw everybody. I didn't even know what was going on. I was talking. A couple of my former players came by. So I was over talking with a couple of the former VCU players who were there. And I saw everybody run to their phones, and one of them brought their phone over to me, and we watched the last 35 seconds, 40 seconds of the game. But it's just one of those deals. There's such parity in college basketball. You look at somebody like Penn, who beat Alabama, I think, first game of the year. then they go to Rice and get beat by, a ton by Rice, and Rice loses by a ton to Arkansas. You just I mean, it's all over the map.
It's interesting you say that about planting the seed, because that was actually kind of the same thing that O said on Monday, talking about this Ole Miss game. They don't really motivate from that negative standpoint anymore. It's more, I wonder if it's different from, I feel like, back in the day. Now, in terms of game number one, what did you think about Trendon Watford's performance, the big 5-star, his debut? How comfortable did Watford look out there?
Well, he's got to continue to improve, continue to get better. It's like I said after the game. 10-7 is a pretty good night for most people, but you feel like he didn't play as well as he could. And so he's gonna be fine as he continues to settle in and get used to the pace and get used to the quickness and get used to the speed of the game. He's out there thinking too much. He's just got to let his hair down, let loose, and go do what he does. Be him. And so hopefully we'll see that tonight. We need him tonight. He's an extra handler against their press. He's 6'9". He can handle the ball. He can bring the ball up the court. So he's somebody that we're going to rely on quite a bit against their press and against their pressure.
Be on the lookout for Will Wade Boot Camp Experience. The Will Wade Boot Camp Experience. You can look at the camp dates that are run through the month of June, starting with kindergartners, running through 12th graders. WillWadeBootCamps.com, as they'll be traveling around the state. One more before we get you out of here. I know that the early signing period for spring athletes start today, and LSU basketball expects a couple of letters of intent to come over. Right now, the athletic administration, the athletic department right now at LSU seems to be on a high buzz. With all this interest around LSU football right now, how do you capitalize on it?
Oh, it's been great. The brand's out there. Everybody's watching nationally. And I have recruits texting me during the football game. So no, it's absolutely awesome. And we're gonna have a couple sign, and we're gonna have maybe have a couple surprises for you too, Jordy. We're gonna have a really good week. We're gonna have a really, really good week.
There it is. Love to hear it. Started off tonight with a win over VCU. Coach, good luck to you and the boys.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
There he is.
Coach.
Revenge week here down in Baton Rouge starts tonight as Will Wade goes back to Richmond, Virginia to take on VCU, Virginia Commonwealth, and Ed Ogeron packs up his number one LSU football team and heads back over to Oxford, Mississippi to take on the Ole Miss Rebels.